The logical way to run team-based ladders. Undisputed truth. If you see someone aimbotting on kill cam, you should be able to avoid them as opponent indefinitely. Well, there will need to be things put in place to make this work, which I will describe later. Removing this luxury from the player base can never be justified. It can never be justified because the cure is worse than the disease. Even if giving unlimited avoid as opponent slots cause the Earth to crash into the sun, that's not a good enough reason, right? So you're going to say, oh, well, we can't give them unlimited avoid opponent slots because then they'll game the system. Well, Risk is about cunning maneuvers and proper diplomacy, and so is a team-based ladder. A team-based ladder is about win trading. If you prohibit the people from doing it, you're only hurting the honest people. Okay? So, unlimited avoid as opponent slots. Uh, it's true. So, what's the solution? We better equip the people to win trade, right? With a locker room and a player directory. There are negatives, but you solve it another way. You don't strip us from that right, because if I see an opponent on kill cam using an aimbot, he can climb higher than the ladder than me. I just don't want to play against him. It's like a Ferrari in the Olympics, right? We don't necessarily prohibit a Ferrari from going on the racetrack. The judges don't just look at the Ferrari. Likewise, I won't look at the aimbots on the ladder. There'll be ways to tell with the player directory. Mike Tyson doesn't have to fight Buster Douglas, but he must forfeit if he refuses. So, if someone's using an aimbot, I'll just forfeit against them, and I'll take my rank. I just don't want to play against them. So let me unlimited avoid his opponent slots. Here's an important one. Disallowing the Bills to forfeit against the Raider is inhumane and detrimental to the health of the participants, and by extension, punishing me for leaving a competitive match is cruel and can be solved in a better manner. Namely, unlimited avoid his teammate slots, locker room, community ledger, QOL. This is thumbs up and thumbs down, and everything's public. And I can write notes on you, and other people can see these notes. And I can mark you for an aimbot, and people can see all the accounts. And people can see these accounts and how many people thought they were an aimbot or not. And then you can automatically avoid them as opponent. It's a list of 40 million players, right? Blizzard, the company, is never going to give us unlimited avoid as team slots, so it's buggered from the beginning. But I'll continue the presentation as if it would Alright, so everything I just described, you can still have a moderation team, right? They're looking at the top of the ladder. They're erasing accounts that have been confirmed to be aimbots by the community managers, or you can do it my way with absolutely no judges, no human judges, no robotic judges, no AI judges. And my way will work just fine. But you can also have a small moderation team. I would prefer there not to be, but it's not like you guys are going to do that. So, how many people you avoided as teammate is public knowledge, right? So I can look at your profile, and I can see who you have avoided as teammate and who has you avoided as opponent. And as that changes with your queues, every time you queue up, even if you queue and leave, this is logged, right? You have the data. Just show us. Just every single point of data in the entire matchmaker. Just show us. Just show us. There's no reason not to. Risk is a game of cunning maneuvers and proper diplomacy, as is a team-based ladder. So, unlimited avoid his opponent slots. The ability to pick who is on your team is the exact same ability to pick who is not on your team. If I have 200 friends and only play with them in 7 stacks, I'm essentially avoiding the rest of the entire ladder. What this means is that bronzes and GMs can be placed on the same teams via matchmaker, but with unlimited avoid as teammate slots, GMs can blanket avoid people plat and below. There would need to be a player directory top 40 million board. So yeah, if you're a GM, you're queuing up in off hours. Yeah, you're gonna avoid the bronzes, right? You don't want them on your team. You probably don't even want to play against them. So unlimited avoid his teammates, unlimited avoid his opponents. Everything else is fair game. The matchmaker, if it's if it's off hours, the matchmaker will put bronzes and GMs automatically into the same matches. But you can dial this in with your own. You don't have to individually click. There would be, I want to blanket avoid, 1500 and below or whatever. This is very simple, I would think. Unlimited avoid as teammate slots is essentially guilds with 10 times less work, although you can still have guilds for the cool factor. So, a lot of people think. I like to call what I'm talking about a locker room. Whereas guilds is, you could do some fun stuff with that. You can have guild SR, but the main purpose of the guild, whether it comes to fruition or not, is to get a squad of 30 people who are always ready to play, and you always have a 5-stack ready to go. Generally, you have some familiarity with these people. This is the purpose of the guild. But with unlimited avoid as teammate slots, I think it's easier to find out who I don't want to play with than. I'll actually write that in. That's kind of important. It's easier to determine who I don't want to play with rather than to find people who are worthy of being on my team. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty wise. Okay, thank you. So, unlimited avoid as teammate slots, please. If you don't want to do a limited avoid as opponent slots, fine. Unlimited avoid as teammate slots is owed to us. This is owed. Yeah. Okay. Undisputed truth. If you beat the champ, you are the champ. Okay, this gets into my ranking system. Alright, so if a group of babies beat the Los Angeles Lakers and play the Lakers, and the Lakers forfeited, the group of babies would be the champ. Now, if the prize for the game was $50 quadrillion, you'd have to have a lot of leverage to pay off the Lakers and collect your bets. So, yes, I know there's a season and playoffs and champion in basketball, but view the ladder as king of the map, right? There's only one map in Overwatch. The map can change. There's only one field in Overwatch, and this is the prize. It's like when you're playing basketball at the court. The winning team keeps the court, right? This is right. So we're doing rungs here. Try to. Morgan already knows what I'm talking about, so I'll just try to breeze through this. This is the premises of my rung ladder and removal of the ELO system. I like ELO, and I would need to talk to some math people to prove me wrong. So this is I would need to sit down with a math person and see where my rung system is losing. But when you have a 24/7 365 ladder, ELO kind of loses its purpose. You're not going to be looking at your highest rung skill. You'll be looking at your 30-day average, which will give the same answer that ELO does, I think. Highest will be fun to look at, and we'll need charts and graphs, very cheap and quick to program up. Got to pass it through accounting though, no sweat. Okay, so one of the benefits of ELO is that it preserves a ranking when chess tournaments are held infrequently throughout the world. But if you have the opportunity, even at chess.com, if you have the opportunity to have anyone in the world play anyone else in the world at any time of day, 365 days a year, we can use a rung system. Decay, right? There's a small amount of decay, one rung per day, right? And you decay if you don't play, one rung per day. If you don't win, right? If you don't win, you lose a rung. But there's 40 million accounts. There's 40 million rungs. There's 100 million, 200 million on chess.com. There's probably upwards of 500 million. You lose one rung a day if you don't win, right? It's not. It's so you can't camp. And the penalty for not winning in a day is so minimal that it's almost non existent. So, when you have a ladder, when you have a basketball court, or anything that anybody can play anytime, ELO kind of loses its purpose because the rung system acts as ELO does. I think. Okay? So what we're going to do is scrap the ELO system and implement the rung system. ELO is cool, and Morgan said it's not ELO, but you know what I mean. Okay. Here's one that it's a tough pill to swallow for some. The ladder is a ladder of accounts, not of people. Unless you get official Blizzard judges to show up at your house every time you queue up for a game, or Blizzard mails out dongles with every new account created, the ladder should be a ladder of accounts, not of people. And even then, you can bribe the judges. So, you're making the ladder, you're obfuscating the information in the ladder to hide from the fact that everyone's cheating in the first place, right? You're creating the illusion of a legitimate ladder by giving us no information, and everyone's falling for it. But, okay. Oh, but we're trying to give you good matches. The matches are garbage, okay? I am in bronze. I play pretty decently. I'm at the bell curve where my matches should be pretty good, right? They're not. So because I'm in a large population, right? They're not good. It's impossible to police GMs for selling their accounts. Okay, so I asked some smart people. I've done some rudimentary research, but I'm no expert. Short of dongles and Blizzard judges showing up at your house, spending $10 million a year, it seems the most sensible thing to do is let GMs sell their accounts. Heck, because it's so prolific, let the GMs sell their accounts in client and Blizzard take 5% commission. This is kind of off the wall, but everyone's selling their accounts, right? Not everyone's selling it. There's no way to stop this. So with a public ladder, we would just be able to see all the GM accounts being sold. It's not like it would increase or decrease. Risk, the board game, cutting maneuvers, or proper diplomacy. You can't separate win trading from ladders. Okay, now, Morgan said that private profile is here to stay because it probably has to do with the laws in Europe. But I have a video on my channel, Poker Cash versus Tournament. You know, whereas quick play is fine if it's private, but competitive must be public. Competitive and private are kind of conflicting terms. And I will end with this. To be measured by an invisible yardstick is borderline sadistic. I have to come up with these quick phrases, right, like a politician to encompass what I'm saying, but that's wrong. But yeah, you know, I kind of trust Blizzard, right? I believe I am bronze, but sure would be nice to see the ladder. I see no sense of improving if I can't have a squad to play with, and I have no chance of getting a squad together if I can't show them the results. Eh, not bad. Okay, so this is where I always do these presentations, and then oh my god, this is so much work, and they're not even going to do it. I'm not even getting paid, right? I would do it for free if I knew you guys would do it, but okay. So what I want to end with is the quick playing competitive. I think some people have commented on this and they like this 25 cents, right? So I think I'll wrap it up here. This will be like last 2 minutes. So the way it should work is you got quick play and you have competitive. And quick play is free to play and it works just like it is now. We got 7v7, no hero limits. And it just works like it is now. It has commercials on it. Morgan didn't like commercials. And if you play 10 games, 25 games, you get 25 cents. Now let's say you can cash this out, like World of Warcraft Gold, right? So you got quick play. You play 10 games, you get 25 cents. It costs 25 cents to play a game of competitive. Winner takes half. So if you lose, you have to go back into quick play and play 10 more games. Or you can load up the account and never play quick play once, right? You get 25 cents from 10 games of quick play. You enter competitive for 25 cents. You're trying to win. You start at the bottom of the ladder in the rung system. You put 25 cents in the machine. You get your ranking. Your ranking is 40,295,000 for, whatever. You're at the bottom of the ladder. If you win, you get your opponent's 25 cents. Now you can play 2 games. Or Blizzard would take a cut, right? There would be, hopefully, I would have to spell this out and maybe later, but this is more about the essence of the ladder. Why, if you do everything I say, and I would probably stay in bronze, what I want is you guys to release the source code for the matchmaker, and then for me to say, oh crap, I was wrong all along, you shouldn't have never done that. I see no reason why the source code for the matchmaker cannot be released. I see no reason why the source code for the game cannot be released. Obviously, it's because that'd be stupid because you're a business. But as far as the matchmaker goes, I've been looking at this stuff for a really long time, and I have found no reason, Morgan tried to tell me, I didn't really see what he was saying. He said, no, you cannot divulge the inner workings of the matchmaker. But why? I'll end there. Thank you.